Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Good morning. US stock indices futures especially are looking mixed. In fact, I have seen the S&P 500 futures drop rapidly. By the time I wrote this script, it was in the positive and slightly neutral and positive. But by the time I finished writing the script and starting this live session, it's already dropped significantly. So the pace is pretty good. And I think investors are more focused on corporate earnings, and Netflix did not do any favors. We're looking forward to Tesla this evening to see what Tesla comes up with, whether it's able to support the market or not. We also have Texas Instrument and Intuitive Surgicals on the tap. And Netflix actually dropped 5.8% after missing Q3 earnings targets, while Texas Instruments tumbled on soft guidance for the rest of the year. Despite this, 80% of S&P 500 companies reporting so far have beaten Wall Street expectations, supporting overall earnings sentiment. And I think strong results from Coca-Cola and 3M were also something which we should think of as supporting this kind of a situation. Yet the S&P 500 finished flat yesterday, and NASDAQ moved slightly lower as some mega cap tech stocks cooled off. Industrial and consumer stocks led gains, while utilities lagged. Gold staged a modest rebound after Tuesday's flash crash, but remains well below recent highs. Silver edged slightly lower, and treasury yields have inched a little higher from last week's closing lows as bond markets continue to see inflows on recession and shutdown anxieties. The Trump administration announced plans to release over $3 billion in farm aid that was frozen by the ongoing government shutdown, bringing some amount of relief to the agriculture sector. On the other hand, Trump is also talking about beef imports from Argentina. That's causing a little bit of concern. And also the banks that will be involved in the bailout for Argentina are having a little bit of a trouble looking at the size of the bailout. Now, Tesla's Q3 earnings are expected after the bell. Traders anticipate high volatility in both Tesla and related EV sector shares. Plus or minus 9% is what I understand. And Warner Brothers Discovery saw an almost 11% surge after confirming sale interest from major streaming competitors, while Paramount's Skydance bid was rejected. In summary, I would say that October 22 will open with mixed futures, concerns from weak tech earnings, ongoing strength in industrial and consumer sectors, and global market caution as investors await further earnings and macro signals. And friends, when we talk about gold, there's one more piece of news came up today, and this comes from the Indian side. I check Indian newspapers on a regular basis. It seems that in the month of June or July, the Reserve Bank of India, instead of buying US dollars, bought gold instead and increased the reserves. And there's a little bit of divergence from what you hear in CNBC and what I see in the Indian newspaper. I'm going to show that to you. Just bear with me for a second. So here we have the news from CNBC, right? So what it says here is the first news here. India to cut Russian oil purchases, US to slash tariffs as they near trade deal, Indian media report. Okay, so the Economic Times is one of the biggest financial newspapers in India. And when I look at Economic Times, the top news out here is India keeps taking Russia turn even as Trump says stop. So this is an article from today. This is dated 22nd October. And it says India keeps taking Russia turn. And inside that it says India's trade relationship with Russia is gaining strength as New Delhi moves to boost economic ties despite pressure from the United States over energy imports. And while global markets navigate a complex web of sanctions, tariffs, etc., India is pursuing a... Come on, this is... Oh, this is crazy. I'll just drop this out here and go back. So it's going to spam me until I become a member or something like that. Look at that. Okay, so basically it says at the same time, non-energy exports from India to Russia have been steadily increasing, so on and so forth. So it's exactly the opposite of what is being said there. And the CNBC article refers to the Mint. The Mint, I think, is a lesser known financial newspaper or website. In India, it says India-US trade deal likely soon, huge tariff cuts on the horizon. And saying New Delhi, India and US are closing in on long pending trade deal that could slash current tariffs, etc., etc. It's not attributing any source here. It's not attributing any source here. So I don't know. There could be a lot of spin here. So just be careful, because as the market drops, they want to come up with some kind of a new news, in my opinion, in order to boost the market back up again. So a truce between China and Trump, or a meeting between Trump and Xi Jinping, that could boost the market. Same way, if you say that India and US are going to come to a deal and tariffs will be snatched, then I think it will boost the market. So just be aware of these things. I just thought I will put that in front of you. And now here we are. S&P 500 futures is jumping back up again to the 3-minute chart. But when I started writing the script, we were somewhere out here. We were somewhere out here. It was around 6:45. I finished my shorts publication. I finished the shorts video, and we were already at that time somewhere around 6,770. Then we went up again. Then we came back down again. And now we are recovering a little bit. We are down 0.02% at this point of time. So there is a lot of volatility happening. And also in the Canadian bond side, we have had a setback because of economic readings. Canadian bond yields are starting to go up again. And I'm glad that I renewed a part of my mortgage. But this is not very good for the housing sector. But there's the news there still that the Central Bank of Canada might cut the interest rate by 25 basis points on the 29th of October. It's a question of wait and watch, because there are so many factors that will get into rate cuts. So we'll see that. Now, let's go back to the daily chart for S&P 500. And out here, what we have is that we still have this resistance. I'm just going to expand this chart and recalibrate it for you so that you can see it better in your smaller screens. So we had this line of resistance that I had drawn before, which limited 1, 2, 3 days, 4th day and the 5th day. So 5 days of limitations out here. Only 1 day we stay above that, but we couldn't confirm this line as a support. We fell back promptly. Since then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days we have been below this line of resistance. Today also, our resistance is going to be 6,792.25. And we have to see if we can move up there. Right now, this is a candle which is forming and it's moving downwards. And it is starting to travel along the body of this green candle that we have out here. Overall market sentiment is bearish. MACD is also bearish. And momentum is flat, even though it's above average. Now, if you look at NASDAQ is still resting on this support, which we have at 25,183.25. Right now, we are down 0.28% at 25,224.50. Will we fall below this today? Well, I don't know, but we have not yet confirmed above this line of support, because to confirm above this line of support, we should have closed at 25,362 and above. We didn't do that. So we have not confirmed this as a support. So this can definitely give in and we can come down. And in that case, I think our first support is going to be 25,061.75 for NASDAQ futures. Dollar index is moving up a little bit. It's up 0.08 cents. And we still have a resistance at 99,204, which has been acting as a resistance for us all the way from 14th of October. VIX is picking up, but it is still below a resistance of 18.16. And we have gold, which is down 2.32% today. It has a key support. I'm going to draw a few lines of support so that we can have an idea of when to dollar cost average if you believe that you're long-term bullish and you want to buy gold. $3,961.992 is going to be the first support. That's a psychological support of $4,000. If it falls below 4,000, that psychological support breaks down. We can't go much by psychological support, so I would say this support here at 3960.072 is the first support. And the second support that we will have is going to be out here. And it's going to be 3,886.141. So these are the two supports that I am seeing for today. And in terms of resistance, this diagonal line of resistance of the parallel channel is going to act as a resistance at 4,063.57. Put call ratio is coming closer to neutral. And let's go on to look at the indicators. And in the indicators, we are looking at S&P 500 first. And S&P 500 is still struggling to break out above the green candle of yesterday. If it manages to break out, then we'll have support at 6,736.49. And our resistance today is likely to be at 6,775.28. So that's the range for today. Market sentiment is bearish, MACD is bearish, and momentum is flat, even though it's above average. Now let's go on to NASDAQ. And when we look at NASDAQ, it's the same story. We have to break out above the previous day's candle, previous day's opening, and we have not yet done that. If we manage to do that, then our resistance for today is likely to be, let me pull this down a little bit, 25,421.98 is our resistance, and our support for today is likely to be 24,980. Now, QQQ is indicating that we're going to open negative. It's down 0.16% in pre-market trades. Same story like NASDAQ. QQQ is showing that the previous day's green candle is still overwhelming. And if we open above that, then we will have a resistance somewhere around 617.73. Hi, good morning, Inf. Thanks for joining. Yeah, so that's going to be the resistance out there. And our support will be, in my opinion, somewhere around 607.31 for QQQ. Next, let's go on and have a look at our AI stocks. So let us go to NVDA. NVDA is up a tepid 0.05%. It's improving, but it still has a resistance at 183.49, which has kept it down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. And if we were to do consecutive days, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive days have seen us below 183.24. If we manage to crack above this, then we'll make further progress. Otherwise, we are still out here. Yes, Tesla is reporting earnings later today, and that will determine what happens for tomorrow. And then we have Meta. Meta is down 0.18% in pre-market trades. It's going to get resistance at 737.54. And the weak part for Meta today is that it's opening below yesterday's closing. And that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. So I think I made a mistake out here. Let me see what's happening out here. Yeah, it's opening below yesterday's closing. So that's a little bit weak. But if it did open above yesterday's closing, then I would feel that there is a little possibility for Meta to be neutral and maybe consolidate on the side today. But if I look at the market sentiment, which is bearish, and the momentum, which is flat and just at average, and look at the pre-market action of minus 0.19%, then I think that it seems more likely that we are likely to give up some ground today. This consolidation also is something I've been talking about before, saying that it's a bearish consolidation, it's a bear flag in action, and therefore we have to look at a target of 652.76. So that outlook has not yet gone, and that will go away if we manage to stabilize above this horizontal line of resistance at 737.54. Google is up 2.30%, and Google seems to be doing pretty well. Yesterday, it had a drop, and it was bounced off by this diagonal line of support, which was earlier a resistance on the bullish pennant. We have already, I think we have almost met our target of 259.63. So we are on the watch for new patterns which can give us either bearish or bullish signals. So until we get that pattern, I don't think we can say anything. And remember, we still have this topping tail, which is dominant. We haven't closed above the topping tail. So I would say Google is still bearish. And we have the market sentiment, which is bearish, MACD, which is bearish, moving away from the signal line. momentum which is dropping but above average. And we also have earnings coming up on the 29th of October. We'll have to see what happens out there, because AI companies have put a lot of money into infrastructure and data centers and all those things. That is definitely bound to hurt the bottom line, because I don't see how AI offerings have been monetized so far, whether they're adequately monetized in order to maintain that existing profitability. Then it comes purely to forward earnings multiples, expectation of future earnings, which will drive the value of these companies. And given the overall shaky environment, I would be a bit cautious out here. AMZN is down 1.18% in pre-market trades. It will have resistance today at 222.72, and it could get support today at around 218.42. Overall, market sentiment is bearish, MACD is bearish, and momentum is just at average. Apple is down 0.55% in pre-market trades, and it's just about going below the horizontal line of support from earlier, which will now perform the role of resistance at 261.94. So I'm going to mark that red for now. And you see a topping tail out here. That could be a signal that Apple might probably turn around and start coming down, and we have a gap fill to complete. So I'll be cautious out there. We can see the bearish market sentiment improving and MACD on top of the signal line, but momentum is a bit flat. So we'll have to see what's happening. So at this point of time, I don't have any calls to make out here. There are no patterns that will help me other than this topping tail pattern, which is bearish. Microsoft is up 0.40% in pre-market trades, and it will have support at 514.69 today, and it could potentially face some resistance around, I would say, 528.49. Tesla is up 0.10%, but I am expecting Tesla to be consolidating sideways today, as there'll be a little bit of jitters about upcoming earnings. Expectations are quite high. There's been a lot of gains. When there's a lot of gains and a little bit of consolidation ahead of earnings, we should always suspect that we could have buy the rumor, sell the news event, which means after the earnings come out, maybe the prices fall. That's a possibility for that to happen, and you could have a head and shoulder pattern formation. That could probably lead to a downward pressure. This is just my personal opinion. I don't see anything in the chart, but the potential that this could be a shoulder, this could be a head, and we could have another shoulder out here. That's all I'm saying. Oracle is up 0.08%, but I still believe it has got a gap fill duty to complete, and it will move downwards. Next, we go on to AMD. AMD is down 0.31%, but still well above 237.18. We have not confirmed this support yet. In order to confirm this support, we should have closed about 242.88. So the support of this line out here at 237.00 cannot be taken for granted. We can easily break down below this. And in case we do that, I think our support is going to be somewhere out here. I would say a minor support at 232.73 is in order. Next, let us look at SMCI. SMCI is down 0.67%. And I still don't know what to make out of this. I'm watching this for the last few days. I'm looking at a long flagpole, and I'm considering this to be a bull flag, but the actions out here, I don't know whether it's going to result in a breakout on the upside. I don't have any specific reason for that, but the fact that we had a little bit of a straight out here, I don't know for sure whether I should consider this to have been a flag and this to be a breakout. Because if this is a breakout, then this is the flagpole and we are already negated that bull flag. However, if we consider the bull flag to start from here and go all the way out here, ignoring this little bit out here, then I think we are still a bull flag. So I'll have to do a little bit of study on this to try and understand what this is. But in the meantime, I don't think I would like to make any calls out there. Broadcom is in the a bullish wedge pattern. I would say bullish wedge pattern because even though we have a gap up out here, this is a huge flagpole and this is a bullish pennant. And when this happens, the price action gets squeezed and then it breaks out on the upside. Now you may say, Raj, this line is cutting through all of these, but I am looking at this line as coming from the past and it has respected in the past. So if I extrapolate that out here, and the way I'm thinking of this is that this line made sure that the price stayed below this and on 2 consecutive days, and then above this on at least 1 day, 2 days, and then below this on at least 1 day. So I'm looking at it that way, and I'm saying that, okay, I can still consider this line of support from earlier to come in here. So I'm thinking that this wedge has to break out on the upside. So Broadcom could as well break out on the upside. And I'm looking at the market sentiment as just bearish and becoming a bit flat. MACD is bearish and momentum is just about average. So I'd like to watch what happens when we come to the end of this bullish pennant and we have to take a decision. I bet we are breaking out on the upside at this point of time. That's what I'm thinking. Let's see how it develops. Palantir is down 0.52%, still making a nice pennant out here. If this was a bull flag, we have a bullish pennant out here, and I think that could break out on the upside. So I'm still bullish on Palantir. I won't give up as yet, and let us see how it develops further. Next, look at the SMH, which is a very critical ETF, which would either support or bring down the indices. It's down 0.67 today, and it's still below this line of resistance, which could not be confirmed as a support. And we do have a topping tail out here for 20th of October 2025. So I'm thinking that we have to be extra careful with the semiconductors, and today's price action will give us some idea of where we are going, because if we come down to the bottom of this line of support, let me mark this green and just pull this out a little bit so that we have a longer runway out here. So if we come down here and if we bounce back again, that's one story. But if we come down here and then break down further, then we'll have to plot a whole new range of supports. But right now, I'm going to consider this to be a bull flag. And even though we have a drop out here and a couple of drops here, I'm just going to consider this to be a bull flag. So if I consider that to be a bull flag, then the probability of us breaking out on the upside is pretty good. And in case that happens, again, we'll get limited out here by this diagonal line of resistance. So, and the balance of all these possibilities, if I look at it, my final take on SMH is that this particular topping tail is going to be the predominant factor, because the bull flag concept gets negated by this long candle out here, this red candle out here. So that is all gone. So I would say that I'm a little bit bearish on SMH, and that's going to guide the way I look at the entire market. Tempus AI is up 1.10% and in pre-market, and it's below 90.32. So 90.32 is going to act as a resistance today. And Intel has reports tomorrow. Oh, great. Let us see what they have to report. It's all a hype stock right now, in my opinion. So let's go and have a quick look at Celsius Holdings and see what it is doing. It's up 0.55% today. And we are looking at 74.71. And that's our interim target based on this small cup and handle. We'll see what happens today. Morning seems to be a bit promising. And Inf says that Intel could do something for SMH. Yes, for sure, either positive or negative, one of the two things. Let's go on to Genomics and let's look at Prime. And Prime is up 0.18% this morning, but I'm thinking that it is now on a bear channel, and it's following this line of support out here, and it's continuing to travel downwards. So I don't think we have ever confirmed this line of support. So we can break down below this. For right now, I'm going to put this as a line of support and show that we could probably keep on coming down. And for today, our support is going to be 5.52. And Intelia is down 0.69%. And we had a target out here for Intelia. It was a bull flag target of 29.92. I could still hold out to the probability that this is a bullish pennant forming out here with a small bull flag within this context, which would finally take us to the target of 29.96. So I'm not giving up on that as yet. Caribou Biosciences has got no trades pre-market, and we already have a long-term cup and handle target of 3.81. I'll just show you where it is. So this is the cup, and this is the handle, and we have come out here. So we have to follow, create a bunch of patterns out here, which would be either bullish or bearish. That will determine whether we are able to meet the target of 3.83. So I'd like to watch for what happens today. We have had a series of green candles, but we have not been able to break out about 2.97. So today, if we manage to break out about 2.97, that would give us a more positive indication that we are going up further. Now, yeah, so that's all I got out here. Now, if you look at the market sentiment, it's bullish. MACD is also bullish. Momentum is above average. Let's look at Beam Therapeutics. It is down 0.30% in pre-market trades. I'm looking for the formation of a new pattern out here because our previous target of 29.08 has been met and exceeded. I'm going to remove that line from there. So we have a flagpole out here. We want to know what happens next. Are we going to get a bull flag formation or a bullish pennant formation, or are we going to start a new bear channel from there? That's what I'm looking forward to. Right now, I don't have any answers. Ortimin is down 0.87%, and I think it's likely to bounce off this diagonal line of support. And for today, the support is going to be 3.86. Then we have Editas, which is down 0.77% in pre-market trades. And considering this to be a bull flag, I think we have a bullish pennant out here. But the overriding factor is the topping tail that we got out here on 8th of October 2025. So that 8th of October 2025 topping tail is still, I think, acting on the stock. That's why we are not able to do a breakout. But if we end up having a breakout and if we take out this topping tail, then I would say that the bullish pennant is still in action. Illumina is up 0.04% in pre-market trades. It will continue to get support at 93.91. And CRISPR Therapeutics is down 1.37% in pre-market trades. It's in this narrow range out here. Let me pull this range further. And we are in a wedge pattern right now. So I want to watch if this top line, this orange line that you see here, has got any strength to keep our price action constrained, in which case we are looking at this wedge pattern. It will be a bullish wedge pattern. It has to break out on the upside. Let us watch what happens. Friends, this is all my personal opinion, not financial advice. So just be careful of the decisions that you take. Do your own analysis. Now we have Allogen, which is down 1.59%. It's going to get a resistance at 1.35. And it seems to be getting a support at 1.21 for the last so many days. So 1.21 will be the support today. Grail is down 3.24% in pre-market trades. Friends, I warned yesterday that we have this topping tail and we have to be careful. I think Grail has started its turnaround back down. And for today, I think it will get a support at somewhere around 75.44. I'm going to remove our previous target lines, so that they don't confuse us going forward. So in the past also, we had a topping tail, but we overcame the topping tail and we broke out. But this time, there's a very huge topping tail. I don't know if we are going to be able to overcome that. PSCV is up 1.05% in pre-market trades. A bullish pennant or a bullish flag is in formation until we get to see otherwise. We need to see 5 or 6 candles out here to make out the trend. So we'll watch that. RG is down 2.02% in pre-market trades. It could get support today at 31.80. And failing which, it could get support at around 30.94. Vertex is up 0.05% today. It has got a support at 413.39. It has a confirmed support out here. And in the past, we had put a target of around 440.10 for Vertex. I'm still hoping that we may be able to reach that target. Next, we have got Ginkgo Bioworks up 0.08%. And we have got Precision. Precision is down 1.23% in pre-market trades. That's around a drop of 5 cents. But we already confirmed about 3.64. So 3.64 is going to be the support for today. And we have Eli Lilly still in the regression channel. And I want to do a full video on Eli Lilly because I think it's a pretty good blue chip. It's been traveling on this regression constant for quite a while, context for quite a while. And I'm thinking that when it comes down here, it's going to be very critical because the more it bangs on the bottom of this line out here, line of support, the more the chances of it to break down becomes, because with every subsequent hit on this inclining line, not only is the inclining line going down and going into a lower and lower numbers, but also subsequent breaks keep on going below that number. So I'm thinking that Eli Lilly becomes progressively weaker and weaker and weaker, but it's a big pharma major and it's got everything going for it. So I want to do an in-depth feature. I'll work on that one of these days and come up with a video, but that's a company that I'm watching very carefully. Next, we have got Ultragenics. Ultragenics is down 1.40% in pre-market trades, and we had a target for 35.04 for it, and I think it has come incredibly close to it, but today's price action is negative. It's down 1.40% in pre-market trades. So right now, I'm in the process of watching a new pattern form out here, and that new pattern, if it is bearish, it will take us down. If it is bullish, it will take us up. I still don't see the pattern yet, so I'll wait for a few more candles, but market is bullish, MACD is bullish, momentum is also above average. We also have earnings coming up on 4th of November. And what else do we have here? RKT still looks bearish to me. So I think RKT, I think it's in a bearish context overall. It's continuing to go down. And next, let us look at currencies. I'm going to Bitcoin, moving tandem with the indices. If the index goes down today, our first critical support for Bitcoin, in my opinion, is going to be 106,271.42. And our resistance today is going to be 109,380.26. Likewise for Ethereum, Ethereum is also moving in the same lines as Bitcoin and the index. And for today, our support is going to be 3,682.61. And then we have XRP. XRP is also down today. It's down around 0.80%. And this diagonal line of support is valiantly trying to hold it up, but I think it's going to fall down below that. And for today, the support was at 2.4068. And right now we are at 2.4028. So we're almost below that. And then we have to confirm below it, or else there'll be a good chance that we can come back up again. But overall, whatever you say, we are in a bearish context, and that's what really matters. So friends, that brings me to an end of the session. But before I go, I want to look up on MP. I have MP in my portfolio. I took profits for half of it. I had bought 100. I took good profits on half, and the other half is still sitting in my portfolio. So I'm thinking whether I should take profit or not. And I think I'll sell off and I'll take my profits today. And then we also have another company that I have in my portfolio. And I think that we go to the future section. That's where we have it. And that company is Billy. So Billy is down 1.54. Yesterday it jumped up 5.84. So I'm profitable on Billy. I bought it because I saw this bull flag out here, and it had a target of 32.15. That's why I bought it. But right now the price action seems to suggest that we are no longer in context of that target, but instead I think we are just about breaking a bear flag pattern and going upwards, and we are within this parallel channel context, and therefore for today the resistance is 31.09 and the support is going to be 28.12. I'm going to sell off Billy and book the profits that I have, and I'm continuing to hold ZGLD, and I might even dollar cost average if it comes to some interesting levels, because overall gold I'm bullish. Billy is a Chinese YouTube-like company. So there was one of our subscribers had pointed that to me, and I had seen a good pattern out there. Unfortunately, the pattern didn't turn out. So that's where we are. Okay, guys, that brings me to an end of today's session, and I'll catch up with you again in the next one. Bye for now.